Welcome, hockeylegend50, to the podcast, episode number 11.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank you.
just start with your IGN. Do you want to explain how you got the name?
So obviously hockey, I played hockey for a while. I've always been a fan of hockey. And I guess before this, like I had like a complete like shitty username. Like I just had put no thought into it because I was like, I don't know, like 8 years old at the time. And so I just and then I got like a little older and was like, I need like a okay username. And so then I was like, what do I like? I like hockey. And so then put hockey. And then legend, I don't even know. Just because I'm good at hockey, I don't know. Then 50 was the number I wore when I played hockey. Like that was the number on my jersey.
Okay,
So
that
I
makes sense.
put that. I think it was also because hockey legend without a number was taken. So I just added the 50.
Yeah, it's a nice sounding name,
Yeah,
hockeylegend50.
rolls off the tongue.
So, how did you start Minecraft? How did you discover Minecraft and Hypixel?
Minecraft specifically was like Pocket Edition. I played the old Light Edition back in like 2011, 2012 when I was in like first grade or kindergarten. And I played that for like, I don't know, like a year or two, and then got an Xbox in like second grade. Started playing the Xbox 360 edition before it was called Bedrock. Started playing that a little bit, and then like early 2013 or late 2013, early 2014 was when I got my first Java account, and then that's when I started playing on the old Minecraft Central server back when it had like 10K concurrent players. I don't know how many people are gonna know what server that is, but so I played survival games on there, and then started started doing that, and then after that I started playing Mineplex with a friend. Played like Dragon Escape, like all those Mineplex games, but I used to watch like Skydo's Minecraft and all those guys play Dragon Escape, so I'm like, ooh, I should play that because I'm a little kid and I had no clue what to do. So I started playing Dragon Escape, but it was so laggy on my computer, so I like would just die instantly. And then after Mineplex, that was when I first got introduced to Hypixel. I always knew about it, but I never really played on it because I don't know, I just never saw anyone play on it. Then I started playing Skywars back in like 2016. I would literally play solo Skywars with a friend, and we would team in solo Skywars, but we were both so bad that we literally could not even win while teaming. And so played Skywars for a while. My win loss was probably like 0.05 back then, and then I kind of grew tired of Minecraft after a little while in like 2017, 2018, and then started watching Technoblade, Philza, all those kind of guys,
All the OGs.
and yeah, I watched the Bed Wars Winstreak series from Techno. Got into Bed Wars, then played a little bit, took a little break, and then COVID hit. So obviously, I have like hours and hours indoors, and so I got really invested into Hypixel. Started playing like housing parkours and all those, and obviously at the start I like don't even know how to like hit a neo, and then like after I played like you know t- dozens and dozens of parkours, I started to get decent. I would maybe get like on a housing leaderboard every once in a while, and then I took another little break, and then right around January of 2022 is when I first saw that the Duels update happened because I used to play Bridge a little bit, and so I went to the Duels lobby to play Bridge, and then I saw Parkour Duels, and then I immediately became interested in that, and so I started playing. One of my first ever games, I got trapdoor trolled for like 10 minutes straight, but that's kind of the initiation process for Parkour
Yeah.
Duels players, and then that's when it sort of kicked off because that's when I grinded I grinded a lot early. And that's when I started playing with like Simply Swiftness and a bunch of other big parkour players.
What What did you do on the 360?
Mostly just survival. Like, I didn't have like the Xbox Live or whatever because you had to pay
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
the
It was
monthly
like a monthly
subscription.
thing,
Yeah.
and so we just played like split screen on Xbox 360, and that was back when every time you would like make a sign, like it would freeze everyone's game like on every
Mm-hmm.
single split screen, and so you had to like type and like go to every single character, and it was so slow. But I played on the 360 with that old like the starter world where like you had to like build the house and there's like the tutorial and everything way
Mm.
back when.
And survival wise, did you build anything, or was it just mining diamonds and then quitting?
No, it's exactly that. I would get iron armor, maybe find like my first diamonds and then be like, yeah, this is kind of boring.
Yeah.
It took me until like 7th or 8th grade for me to finally like actually like get invested in the game, build like an actual base, and like beat the Ender Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Because I that was about the time when I started watching like Hermitcraft and those guys,
Mm-hmm.
and um yeah, I would get like inspired by their builds or whatever, and then I'd make like a shittier version of their builds or whatever,
Yeah.
and then maybe make an iron farm or whatever.
Yeah, that's such a common path for everyone who plays like
Yeah,
Xbox 360. They get diamonds and they just quit instantly.
yeah. That was my big trend on Pocket Edition because there's those like seeds that were like there would be these like YouTubers that would just share like 5 amazing starter seeds, and then there'd be a seed called like Johnny Appleseed or something, and it'd be like there's like so many diamonds that spawn or whatever, and I would just like mine the diamonds and then just like quit because I'm like 10 years old or whatever, so
Yeah.
uh my attention span is like 5 minutes.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh yeah, and Xbox 360 had those borders. It was like 500x, 500x, I believe.
Yeah, on Pocket Edition they had those too. Like, we had a world with me and my brothers where we were like big baseball fans back then, and so we would build like baseball stadiums, and we built so much on one single creative world that we literally went like in the entire border, like we filled the entire world
Wow.
because like all the borders and everything.
Yeah, so much for the imagination thing for Minecraft, huh?
Yeah, the old Pocket Edition was so bad. Like on the old Light Edition, there were 3 hotbar slots. I'm pretty sure, and it was literally
Wow.
like you got like bricks, and I think like wood planks, and I think like cobblestone. Those were your 3 hotbar slots, and there's no survival on the Light Edition. Light Edition. It was only creative,
Mm.
and I don't think you could save a world either. I think like once you exited the world or once your phone or whatever turned off, like that world was gone. And
Wow.
so we would like go to the bathroom or whatever, and we'd tell our sibling like, "Hey, can you watch my iPod to make sure it doesn't like turn off from like sitting there because I'm in the middle of the world and I don't want to lose it."
Yeah, makes
It was
sense.
so, it was so weird.
Yeah, very limited.
Yeah.
You mentioned you watched Sky before. Did you watch any other series from him, like the Prison Break thing?
Yeah, I watched. I think that was one of the first ones I watched of him from like the prison escape ones. Where I I don't think I even paid attention to like a single word that he said. I would just pay attention 'cause like, ooh, I wonder if he gets out of the prison, and it's just so
They always
stupid.
do. They always do.
And yeah, so I'd watch that. I remember watching some like adventure world that he did where it was like 10 episodes long. I don't even
Hmm.
remember. I remember watching that, and
And the Mindplex
I don't
stuff.
know. Yeah, I remember watching Mindplex. I remember them doing Dragon Escape, and I remember there's because you had a boost or like a leap back in Dragon Escape, and it was an axe, and I think it's a
Yeah.
lot similar to the boost in Parkour Duels.
Oh
Like
yeah.
looking back,
I never
which is so
realized.
weird because that was back in like That was like 2013, 2014 when they had it too.
Yeah, I loved Dragon Escape. Watching it wise, I feel like a lot of people
Yeah,
grew up with that series, or they know about that mini game at least.
yeah. I had like zero clue about like momentum or any parkour skill. I was just
Hmm.
like pressing spacebar and running.
Yeah, it looked
Like
so
I didn't
fun.
even know. Yeah, I didn't even know how to like use a sprint key. I was double tapping W for the longest time.
So, Parkour Duels. You did mention how you discovered it. You were playing Bridge and then saw the update and decided to play it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was kind of late to the jump. Like I didn't see it like right as it came out because I stopped playing for like a few months, and so I'd already been like okay at parkour. Like I wouldn't say I was like amazing at parkour, but like I was good enough to do parkour, Jules parkour, because it's all like 3 block jumps or whatever.
Hmm.
And so I got interested in that, and then like after I got to like parkour diamond or whatever, I was fast enough to like at least be noticed by some of the better players. Eventually, someone from the community, Goose and uh, messaged me on Hypixel and was like, "Hey, want to play in like a tournament?" I'm like, "Okay." Like, I don't know, I don't know why I'm good enough to be in a tournament, and so I play in that tournament. It was like a 2v2s tournament, and so like the way those work is just it's placement. So first place gets 1 point, second place gets 2 points, etc., and whichever team gets the least amount of points moves on. And it was single elimination, and I was paired with like one of the best players at the time, and I actually played decent. Like I think I played decent for playing as like the like one of the lower seeds, I guess you could call it. But then we got knocked out first round, and I think we were gonna play one more game, but then my teammate said he had to go do the dishes, and he just quit mid tournament. So
Fantastic.
that was that was my introduction to parkour duels tournaments.
And all this happened when you were a Parkour Diamond.
Yeah, it was like this was like May 2022. Um I think I was like parkour diamond, maybe like just hitting parkour master, I think. So like definitely like still in triple digit wins. So
Hmm.
it was still pretty early on.
What made you interested in Parkour Duels?
Um I mean, I've always been kind of interested in parkour and like parkour duels. I never really I guess it kind of intrigued me because I didn't really get the concept 100% because I was wondering how they're gonna do it. Like in Mind Men, it's just like two maps side to side that are completely identical, and you just race them, and you like it's still visible. You can still have players on and everything. And so
Hmm.
then, like obviously, Parkour Duels has like the 24 rooms or whatever, and it's basically a unique seed every time. And so I thought that was the kind of a novel concept where like there's still some sort of randomness, but like there's still a familiarity to it where like you can recognize the rooms and like kind of grow familiar to the jumps and kind of optimize a lot. And so that kind of kept me interested for a while until I was actually like one of the better players in the community.
Was that enough of a reason to like keep you grinding the game?
My main reason at this point is just like titles and stuff. Like I'm still kind like of course I'm gonna play if there's like a good seed if I can get a PB, but that's not really the main reason I'm grinding right now because I've always wanted to be on the Winstreak leaderboard and like for one reason or another my win streaks have been killed either to like internet or to like chunk errors or to door glitches or um Hypixel just like randomly disconnecting you from the
Hmm.
server. Like I've just had like a million win streaks lost. Like I think I have like 120, 130 losses, and I bet like 120 of those are not even from me like actually losing the game. It's just
Wow.
from other BS reasons.
So you would have a 1,000 plus win loss ratio?
Yeah, definitely. I I can only think of like 2 or 3 times where I've actually legitimately lost, and it's not even because like I wouldn't even say it's because like I'm like bad at the game. One was because like back before the update where they changed the checkpoint registration. It was back when there's still kind of a like luckness to how checkpoints register, and sometimes it would like not register, and so I literally spent like 40 seconds of my time trying to get this checkpoint to register, and it wasn't. And then I lost the game because of that.
Wow.
But and another thing is a lot of the people in the community, like if they know you're on a win streak, they'll wait for you and make sure that you're within like 1 minute of uh of their finish
Completing
time
it.
so that you
Yeah,
don't
so
lose
it
the win
ties.
streak. So yeah.
Wow. That might be the only mode where the comp would actually help
Yeah.
someone on a win streak.
Yeah, no, people are so like courteous about that, and it also helps when you know like literally everyone that would ever like be close to you.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
What do you think about parkour being in the Jules lobby?
Honestly, like I think like in hindsight it probably shouldn't. But like I mean we're going on what 3.5 years of it being in the duels lobby. Like it is way too late to like pull
Yeah.
it out. Like it's definitely more of like an arcade game type because it's an FFA. Like every duel is a 1v1 or like a teams like 2v2 or something like that. And so like an 8-player FFA where like you can get like a 2,000 win streak without even like being like decent at the game. You just have to like finish within reason of the person that gets first place. Like it's such a outlier to the rest of the duels like
Hmm.
kind of layout. But like I think at this point it's kind of too late to even just do anything about it. Like it's already like cemented itself as a duels mode, and so people have already grinded thousands and thousands of wins on it. So
Yeah.
it's just like if they removed it, it'd just be like way too late for something like that.
Hmm. It reminds me of that one party games mini game where you have to do parkour against other people. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if you know it.
yeah. No, there's two of them. There's the jungle one and there's the one with like stone bricks.
Yeah.
Because you get like speed one or speed two,
Ah, so
and
that's the difference.
yeah, but those parkours are literally it's just a straight shot. Like you don't even like strafe or anything. You're just like
Hmm.
pressing the
It's just
space
holding
bar
W.
basically. Yeah.
And what do you think Parkour Duels belongs in terms of arcade? Do you think it should be like a separate mode or integrated into something else?
It would if it was in arcade, it would definitely be a separate mode, I think. I think it's different enough and it's definitely long enough to be its own separate mode. Like if it was integrated into like party games or something, or like the party games game, like it would
Hmm.
be way too long because it's like 3 minutes for a good player to finish a game. And if that was 1 out of 8 games in the party games mini games, it would just be like way
Too
too
long.
long.
What about like a single chunk of the rooms?
I think that would work. Like
So it take like
honestly,
30
that'd be a good
seconds.
idea. Yeah, that'd be a good idea to like add to like as a mode of party games. Just put one room of parkour duels in there, and it just be like a mini parkour duels room. Like
Hmm.
that'd be a really good idea.
Do you want to describe the tournaments of parkour?
Yeah. Tournaments of let's see. There's like a Hall of Fame where there's like every single tournament result. Earliest tournament was way back in like literally like first month or so. It was a 1v1 tournament. Um, but there's been like every single type of tournament you can think of. We're kind of limited to how like private games can be set up because we've been wanting to do like a 4v4 tournament, but because you can only have 8 players in a parkour duels game, you can't like have anyone spectating to like kind of officiate it. And so we've only been able to do 3v3s or 2v2s. But most tournaments are sort of like a double elimination game. everyone's invited. Just gotta sign up. They're put in the Discord. Usually, it is hard to set up just because we got some people in Australia, got some people in like Eastern Europe, so it's hard to get one time zone for everyone. But usually try and take around like 2 to 3 hours to finish it, but sometimes they go over because maybe there's a lot of people in the tournament, maybe some you know little drama happens where like
Hmm.
there has to be a decision made. But usually they're pretty fun. I think it's a great way to like compare different players because really your only time playing against someone is in queue, and even in queue it's kind of hard because maybe you're you know kind of just like cruising and not really thinking about what you're doing, and then you play against someone on the leaderboard, so it's hard to compare that to like a tournament where you know who you're going to play and you know how you have to play and how fast you got to go. So
Yeah, so it's like a tier testing.
yeah, more or less. Also recently we've done like show matches where they've been like more personal and like longer matchups in between 1v1s, because in our tournaments we've had like maybe like best of 3 or best of 5 games in between two people. But in these show matches that we've hosted, it's been like let's say first place gets 10 points, second place gets 7, third place gets 5 or whatever, and first person to 100 points wins. And so it's more of a marathon type matchup, and it really kind of measures how much of a gap is in between like one player and another.
Yeah. What made you guys like start the tournaments?
Um, I think it's just people people are competitive, so they want to see how good people are,
Hmm.
compared to other people. Um, I know when I played my first tournament, I was immediately hooked on it. It's like playing parkour duels and you're like, your leaderboard play. You don't really have much competition, and so once you play in a tournament, there's like real competition, and you're no longer like miles ahead of the next player. And so there's actual like there's a bit of an adrenaline rush, especially when like these only happen like every few months or so. And so you actually like want to perform well. And it's really the closest thing to an esport right now in duels is like tournaments like this where there's actually some like, reputation on the line, I guess.
What about cheating in parkour?
I mean, there's not a lot of it. Like back in the day when flying was a lot more easy to come by, there would be some people that would like there's a video on YouTube of some guy getting like a 40-second time because he just blinked to every single checkpoint and then finished. But like it's not like a PvP mode where you can like reach or you can b hop. Like um b hopping is like impossible in parkour duels. It's not like you can get like speed or anything. The only real like type of cheating that we have is like people have clients where you can like see rooms ahead, and so like it kind of gives you an advantage of like when to boost. And so like let's say there's like a really fast room and then like a really slow room ahead, and then I boost in the really fast room because I'm like, you know, I got to boost here, but then the guy knows that I'm playing against that there's going to be a really slow room ahead. He saves his boost, and then he all of a sudden has like 10 seconds on me because he knew that that room was going to be ahead. And
Yeah,
so
it's more optimal.
that really is the main one, but it is not very common to come by. Most people like like I said, the community is pretty like we kind of know each other, and so we do kind of frown upon that, and like we almost feel like guilty playing it because it's just an unfair advantage, and so we just like don't use it.
Hmm. Have you guys had any parkour bots yet?
No, thank God. Parkour bots would absolutely like kill the game mode.
Hmm.
Like I from what I can tell, I feel like parkour bots, especially nowadays, would be like really, really easy to make, especially because we have people in the community that know how to like scan a room and determine what it is, and then all it would be is just a macro to like,
Yeah,
do the
and
jumps for the
pre-record
room.
gameplay.
Only thing is like it's hard to, I guess, like use boost as a bot, but I don't know. There's definitely some way to figure that out, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't want
still,
to. I
though,
don't want to be advertising for a bot because that is like my
of
worst
course,
nightmare as a parkour player. Like bots would just make
ruin the game.
parkour duels like it would just not make it fun at all.
Yeah, but against nons, it would be very effective because they never
Oh,
like
for
miss a jump.
sure.
Yeah.
Like a boostless bot would literally be the first to ascended. Like it's not even a question.
Let's move on to records. Can you explain some types of records popular within parkour?
Yeah, there's a few different records. The main one obviously is like the classic, just finish the parkour duels game in the quickest time. Um, I think first couple world records like on the day of around like, you know, 220 around there cuz people had like no clue about any tech or whatever. Started dropping down after a while and then Supermore way back in like the first month of the game got a 205, which with how those checkpoints were at the start and how laggy the game was in the first few months, like that genuinely is one of the most impressive times I've ever seen. Um, and like a lot of the movement and stuff and like the skips used in that were like very, very I don't want to say revolutionary because that kind of like makes it sound more dramatic than it really is because it's just parkour duels. But like, I mean, it really is like, I mean, all these times ahead of him are in 2025, and he's got a 2021 time.
Mm-hmm.
But current world record holder is Felipe. He's got a 154.9. Um, him and EDCR have kind of battled for the record. Felipe has the boost and boostless world record right now, but EDCR has kind of moved to just speedrunning Minecraft at this point, but Felipe's kind of ran away with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's a boostless and boostless world record. There's a 10 win streak, which I don't really know how that originated. I know it's on speedrun.com, but I don't know whether it was speedrun.com that made it or whether it was someone in the community that started it. But that's kind of it's more of a consistency battle because you're not necessarily, you know, it's not one specific seed that you're trying to play. You're trying to get 10 wins in a row. And then daily win streak has stood forever. Simply Swiftness has a 400 daily win streak in Parkour Duels, which that literally took him 24 hours. I th- I really can't see anyone beating that ever, just because I think queue times got a lot slower than when he did that, because that was back in like 2022 when it was still a relatively new game mode.
Yeah.
And we also have we have like a prac world where you can practice the like individual rooms, and we have some like records for those, but I wouldn't say those are as contested as like the boost world record.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there should be any other type of records? Maybe like 5 win streak or something else?
Um, the only one that I think we've kind of been discussing about is like since the our current world record that we kind of all fight for is more of like a random seed type thing, kind of like a RSG for parkour duels. We did recently make something where you can like basically order your own rooms and play your own seed. And we've been thinking about making a set sleed record and just have the 8 best possible rooms and see who has like the most tick perfect run, I guess you could say. But
That makes
that's
sense.
still kind of in the works.
Yeah, that would be actually pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Upcoming update. What do you think about Spleef and Bed Wars being in the Jules
Ooh.
lobby and as a mode
Um,
itself?
I mean, Spleef, I really don't have an opinion on. I've never really played Spleef myself, so I mean, I know there's definitely like an audience for it. Like I know there's definitely people that are looking forward to it, but that really has never intrigued me. I'll probably play the Spleef Diamond and then quit it because I want all Diamond titles. But um, Bed Wars Duel is definitely. I'm really curious to see how that's going to be because there's so many ways you can go about a Bed Wars Duels. Like you could do kind of like a bed fight, like in Mind Men, or where it's just one base and one base. You don't have a shop or anything. You just have the same gear and you bridge to each other and you try and break each other's bed and kill each other. Or you could do kind of like a first Russian bed wars where you have a shop, you have a gen, and you can choose whichever like uh whatever you want to buy. Or you could like have like a mid for like if you lose your bed and then you want to clutch, but I don't know. I'm really curious to see like what route they go for that. I wonder like how big the maps are as well. I feel like they could have like a really big map or a really small map, so that'll be interesting.
It's probably going to be small for the 1v1 mode.
Yeah, true. I'm just wondering like if there'll be like diamonds or M's or whether they'll just like kind of cut those out from the mode.
I don't think so, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, as a parkour main, what do you think about like the not new titles, but the old titles like Celestial, Divine Ascended?
Um I mean anything beyond celestial for parkour duels is just completely unattainable. Like it took us 3 years to get one parkour celestial,
Mm-hmm.
and no one's gonna get parkour divine unless it's literally a bot, and that's if a bot can go 50,000 wins without being detected as a bot, which is pretty hard to do. I think I think this has been an idea that has been floated around a lot, but I think titles need to be adjusted to how fast the games are. Like
Like a score
boxing
system.
yeah, like boxing definitely needs to have the titles adjusted because they have what I think they have one divine and that's it.
Yeah,
And then sumo, I think they have 10 ascendeds, right?
probably more.
Yeah, sumo has a bunch. I know classic has a lot of ascendeds as well.
Yeah, top 10 is 100k as well.
Yeah, but like the parkour duels leaderboard, they don't even have all godlikes yet, and it's been around for 3.5 years. So it's, I mean, if if they want people to like grind to 100,000 parkour wins, then I guess they can keep it. But it's just weird to look at as like trying to compare like the time invested to get that title because Parkour Celestial has like a million times more credibility than like a Sumo Celestial or a Classic Celestial, even though both are pretty cool to get. But like, there's only one Parkour Celestial, and there's like I don't know, 300 Sumo Celestials. There's a lot.
Mm-hmm. So you think it should be like a score system for the duels?
Maybe I think either that or just literally just like have different a different win requirement for each mode. Like you don't have to have the same win requirement for each mode for each title. Like you can lower parkour godlike to like 5,000 and I don't think anyone would really care.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not that big a deal. And plus I think it'd make people more motivated to get titles
Oh yeah,
because no one wants to grind for like 500 hours to get parkour legend unless they're like
absolutely.
shark.
What do you think about Godlike X? 28,000 wins.
Oh, Like for parkour or just in general?
Just in general. Could be applicable to parkour as well.
I mean, back in the day when it like was utilized, like I think it was fine, but like I mean, a million people got parkour or Godlike X, overall Godlike X at a certain point, and so I think it was the right time to change it. But I think what they did with it is actually really good, just because they like made it a legacy title, so they can still like you can still. Wait, no, I'm getting my history
Yeah,
wrong.
can't show it anymore.
Yeah, you can't show it anymore. I'm thinking of the like the old ranked system for duels.
Oh, the
Those are the
ranked.
legacy titles I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Because I know I know it was suggested that you could do like Godlike X or whatever as legacy titles, but they haven't introduced it yet, which I think they should do.
Really. Don't you think it would be like a common title in like lobbies?
Um I don't know. Um I don't know how many people got Godlike X, like, but I think it'd be a cool thing to have. Just like,
Hmm.
you know.
What would you want in an update?
Um, for parkour, I think just a few little bug fixes, but I think most of the bug fixes have been fixed now. Like we've kind of been talking with the admins for the past few weeks about different bugs. They already fixed a big glitch that literally like just completely disallowed me from getting above like a 100 win streak, which is really annoying. But the main glitch right now is just a chunk error that happens every once in a while, but
Hmm.
it's not that big a deal. But
Only bug fixes?
yeah, okay. I'm I'm not explaining the full story. Hold on. Sorry. um I completely forgot about we really need a new map.
Yeah, I was
We
gonna
really need
say.
a new map. It's only 24 rooms. We really need a new map, but um some people have suggested to like add more rooms to the current map, but I think that would kind of ruin it just because a lot of the records that are held right now, like the world records on the castle's map, would kind of they would either be completely frozen, and so like you literally could not get better, or like literally all of them would get beaten because of these new rooms are like crazy fast or something. So I would want like a fresh new like
Map.
24 however many rooms, and
Hmm.
hopefully for it to be faster than like 2.5 minutes per queue, because I think that would also help like grinding wins and not
Yeah.
having like 50 wins in a day be a like feat to get, you know?
Hmm. What about like new jumps? Or types of jumps, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do that. Like, I guess you could like add a neo or something, but it's hard to add like too hard of jumps because then that'll just discourage like new players from joining.
Yeah,
But
could be like soul sand or ice.
yeah, I would love to see something like that, like a soul sand jump, or maybe I don't know, maybe like it could be just like a basic one block neo.
Hmm.
Like those aren't hard. Like, but I would definitely love to see like new jumps that are like
Unique.
kind of difficult to do, but like not too difficult to where like, you know, players are just like no one plays the game.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd add a lot more. I think it'd be really interesting to see in like a tournament setting where people have to hit that like in order to win a tournament. Like that'd be really entertaining to watch.
So yeah, no 5 block jumps for now. We'll save that for the private games. That could
Yeah,
be like a
unless
setting.
unless we add speed to parkour duels, and then
Oh,
we
that's
could add a
cheating.
5 block jump.
Oh yeah, what do you think about speed? Like there will be a special map with
That
speed
would
only.
be interesting. Like have like a speed 1 map, or maybe add jump boost. Like
Oh yeah, jump boost too.
or a mix of the two. I know you can like have speed and jump boost in private games, and we've definitely tinkered with that because we've gotten like 130 times in parkour duels with, I think it was like speed 5 and jump boost 3, but I think it'd be really interesting to see like how that plays out in like an entire like a public queue with like
New
nuns
people.
figuring out how to use jump boost for the first time and everything.
What about launch pads? The little slime blocks that launch you up.
That's actually that's a good idea. I think that makes me think a lot about like how MCC does their parkour and like Ace Race and all those. Like you could almost do like almost like a Mario Kart course with like, you do a lap and then you do another lap, but
Hmm.
that might get a little too similar to other
Yeah.
modes and that might stray away from parkour duels, but I could definitely see like jump pads getting used or like any type of boost.
Hmm. So you're fine with speed and jump being added on like a specific map?
Yeah, I I'm definitely a little protective of the current map. Like I kind of want to keep it the way it is right
Of
now
course.
because I do kind of like seeing the record kind of get ticked down to um like
Hmm.
basically the best possible time because it's really cool to watch the progression of it. But um yeah, I definitely love to see new maps with like different potion effects or like different types of jumps and like learning new skips, and like that would just keep me entertained for another like 15,000 wins. So I'd love to see that.
What do you think about the win streak thing in parkour? The fact you can't lose a win streak, assuming you like finish
Yeah,
the mode.
I think that was a really it was definitely a really weird thing to do. I think that kind of coincides with how parkour duels definitely probably shouldn't have been a duels mode to begin with because like an 8-player FFA, like it is definitely a lot harder to win. Like let's say there's 7 other players that you're playing against. They're at the same skill level of you. It's hard to beat all 7 of them than to beat one person that's the same skill level of you.
Hmm.
So like in that sense, I get that like if you get second, you don't lose your win streak, but you also don't get a win. But also in duels where there's literally leaderboards for win streaks, it does kind of like stray people and like kind of motivate people to only play parkour when trying to get on the overall win streak leaderboard, even though no one has ever gotten a 3K win streak. It just like would definitely be a lot easier to get a 3K win streak in parkour than say like sumo. So
Yeah. And usually you get punished for losing too.
oh for sure.
Yeah, like UHC has a deathmatch mode where it's 8 people and it's a free for all,
Yeah.
but you still lose if
And
you're like
it's
number 2.
yeah, it's still like it's just completely different from parkour duels where if you get like you could someone could get I don't know like a 220 and you could get a 319 and still not get punished for it other than losing 3 minutes and 13 and 19 seconds of your time.
Hmm. Do you think they should remove it, or is it too late?
It's definitely too late. That's similar thing to how parkour duels shouldn't be in the duels lobby. Like be a good idea 3 years ago, but now it's just like it's
Hmm.
way too late to do something like that.
Do you think they should add AP based on parkour wins and maybe like time?
Like achievement points?
Yeah.
Um, I think that'd be cool. Um, I know like there's only like 2 or like 1 or 2 achievements in parkour duels, and I know one is like having a flawless parkour duels game where you don't fall.
Oh yeah.
But um I'd love to see like those tiered achievements in duels, especially parkour duels, but I don't know how much they're gonna add to the update. I know they're gonna do a lot of like cosmetic type stuff from what I saw, but I don't
Sure.
know.
It's just your thoughts on it.
Yeah,
If you think
yeah.
they should. Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see it. Like, I haven't really heard anything about achievement points from like
Oh, of course.
the
I don't
community,
think they're going to do
so
anything
yeah.
AP wise. What do you think number one
Yeah.
should be? Like the plus 25 AP? How many wins should that be?
How much like how valued is plus 25 AP? Because I've never really AP grinded, so
I mean, it's decent, but eh, not really that much in the grand scheme of things, I'd say.
what's the equivalent of it in Bed Wars?
No idea.
Oh. um I don't know. I'd say I think Parkour Diamond is a pretty good like point because that's 500 wins, and so that's I don't know. It takes
Do you think
like
that's a semi
two
decent
and a half
achievement?
takes like 2.5 hours to get 50, and so that's like 25 hours to get 500. So
Hmm.
that's a decent grind to get 25 achievement points.
Let's move on to dodging. Do you dodge, and what do you think about dodging in parkour and outside of parkour?
um, I don't really care about it. It's like obviously like if no one cheated or anything, then I would say it'd be fine to like add punishment to anyone who dodges. But like we got people that cheat, we got people that snipe. Like it's it's like the real world. You can't have like a perfect no crime world. So um you know dodging is definitely the least of Hypixel's worries when it comes to like people you know breaking the law or whatever. So I thought it
Hmm.
was kind of I thought it was kind of weird that they added obfuscation to Bed Wars as well as like kind of up the obfuscation for duels to um, basically curb Lilith and what they've been doing. I kind of get it for duels because like Lilith does like definitely like it just goes around the obfuscation that duels does, but to add it to Bed Wars where like there's no like it definitely it shows you the win streak, but like it's not like it's like a super competitive mode. So that did kind of made me confused on why they did that. Like it's like they think that Bed Wars is like a really competitive game mode when it's just like any other mode, but
Hmm.
I don't know.
What do you think about people dodging in parkour?
Um I mean the only real thing for parkour for me is just how like it makes me sit in queue longer, but like I mean I'm still getting my wins, so I don't really care.
Hmm. Well, let's move on to hockey. So, what made you interested in hockey, and when did you like begin being interested in hockey? Watching it, playing it, whatever.
Um I'm from Michigan, so like Michigan's a really big hockey state, but I grew up with my dad always having hockey on the TV in the winter. So I'd watch that, and eventually my brothers said they wanted to play hockey, and I'm like, okay, I'll play hockey too. And then I'm the younger brother, and so once my brothers realized they're kind of too old to pick up hockey, I kept playing because it was like right around the time that was good for me to start playing. And then I played for I don't know 8 years, and then once it got to high school when everyone was starting to grow up to like 6 foot or whatever, I was a little late to the party, and so I was getting checked when I'm like 5 foot, and so I had to quit because I'm literally like a foot shorter than everyone else.
Yeah, unoptimal genetics.
Yeah.
How long did you play hockey for?
Yeah, about 8 years. I still play every once in a while. Like, there's some intramural stuff at my college that I play with some friends, but I haven't played on like an official team since I was like, I don't know, 14.
Mm-hmm. What makes it fun? Still to this day?
Um, I I think it's just how it's like a fast-paced game, and um, I don't know, just something satisfying about shooting a puck into a net.
No, of
Like,
course.
um, but I mean, I've always like I can really enjoy any sport, but hockey's always been my favorite. Just not only watching it but playing it, because it you don't really get too tired after a while, because especially when you're on like a big team, because you play like 1 minute and then you're off again, and then you can get your drink of water,
Yeah.
and then you're back out there in like a couple minutes ready to go. So like, especially when you're like a 10-year-old kid with endless energy, it's like the perfect way to just
No, of course.
run around for an hour or two.
And what's your role in hockey?
I was always a forward. Um, you know, I was always the one that wanted to score goals. I
Mm-hmm.
I did the same in soccer, but um, I I was always a forward because I was always the short kid, so it's not like I could take up a lot of space on defense. But I also just never really liked defending because I always wanted to be the
Be in the
one
action?
scoring goals. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Have you ever tried like switching roles?
Um, I mean, there are some times when my coach would put me on defense for like a game, but it never really came naturally to me. Like, and I never really got taught how to defend. It was so I never really played more than like a game or two when like
Yeah.
someone is like gone for some reason. But yeah.
And how did you feel when you had to play defense? Were you like bored or just kind of confused?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was bored because you know, every time someone would score, I'm like, man, that could be me. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I actually did play goalie a couple of times, but I was complete garbage at it. Like, I let up like a million goals, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, I tried it.
Yeah. And what are your favorite teams and why?
Um, I mean, my favorite team's the Red Wings because they're in Michigan, they're in Detroit. Um,
Of course.
it's kind of annoying to watch them because they haven't made the playoffs in like 10 years, but um, I've always supported them. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
it's also hard because I don't live like in Detroit, so like I can't just go to games whenever. But um, it's one of my favorite things to do. Just go to games. It's always fun to see the energy there, and you know,
Of like the crowd.
see my favorite players or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's it for the podcast.
All righty.
Well, thank you for joining Mr. Hockey Legend 50.
Thank you. Thank you.